At the India Today Conclave, we're always thinking out of the box and trying to come up with innovative new ways of doing things. And it is in keeping with our long-standing tradition of breaking new ground that we're introducing at the India Today Conclave 2016, an exciting and dynamic new way of discussing ideas, Pecha Kucha 2020, a presentation format where you'll be shown 20 slides for 20 seconds each. In 6 minutes, 40 seconds, you will witness a phenomena that's gone viral in 800 cities across the globe. Allow me to introduce to you our Pecha Kucha speakers for today. Usually, leaders are poached from opposition parties, very rarely from allies. Our first speaker at the India Today Conclave is a technocrat who's been entrusted with the tough task of bringing the Indian Railways back on track. He is India's biggest employer, one of the very few leaders who managed to become a blue-eyed boy both for Atal Bihari Vajpayee and also for Narendra Modi. Ladies and gentlemen, at the India Today Conclave, join me in welcoming to our stage our first speaker, the Union Minister for Railways, Suresh Prabu.
So, good morning, friends. Looking at you, I'm not so sure how many of you travel by railways every day. But the whole idea is to not only railways put on track, but you all back on railways. This is one of the most critical segment of India's infrastructure. In a way, could provide a big boost to the growth of the economy. It is something which is so critical for several socio-political reasons, and therefore this is a very vital element of India's growth strategy. And therefore, we have decided to work on a strategy. I think this is the first Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, who has really put his whole weight behind the railways. Every other day, he is focusing on railways as a very important activity. So let me just start my presentation. So I think you can just go to the first slide, please. So this would have been, as I said, this is the 5 ways. He wanted only 5 ways, and we had to listen to the media all the time. So this was one of the toughest years for the Indian Railways, probably the toughest any time, because of growth in the core sector, which drives the freight of railways, which is 2/3 of the revenue, and also many areas in which the transportation sector policies which have been changed over a period of time, all manifested in this year. But despite these challenges, so I think we can go to the second slide, please. The next one. So these were the headwinds, and despite this, we delivered good performance on various parameters in a relative terms. Firstly, we implemented 139 budget announcement of the previous budget. This is a radical change because we thought earlier that making announcement of a project is a project in itself. So if you have made an announcement, the project is complete because you made the announcement. Let me make the next one now. But we changed the track and we said we'll implement the budget announcement. So 139 were implemented. Despite all these adverse challenges, we have put 90% as an operating ratio. And the cost saving achieved during this year was 8,720 crores. This is something unprecedented. To save the cost of that magnitude in a government is not an easy task. Now we are putting this five-pronged strategy to get railways on track. First is to improve the customer. I think we have really lost track with the presentation. So if somebody can just make sure that I'm on the page 3. No, I know, but he's gone a little ahead, so. Okay, fine. So, improved customer experience is the first part. New sources of revenue, because the railways derive their income entirely from freight or fare, which is not fair, in my opinion. We need to get more. So we need to explore the no sources, non-rail revenue. Cost optimization, another building block of the strategy. Investment in infrastructure to meet yesterday's need as well as to create for future requirement. And obviously structural reform. So these are five-pronged strategy. Now, next one. On improved cleanliness and beautification of stations is one of the major areas immediately. So you could see that we have worked on a very comprehensive strategy. These are all the various murals, paintings on the wall. If you go to Savai Madhopur, which is the gateway to one of the India's, not only India's, but world's best tiger reserve, you can see a different kind of a station. So we are trying to work on that. Stations are getting definitely cleaner. Even Rahul Kanwal agrees, so it has to be true. Digital ticketing is another strategy. And in that, we have already worked on increased capacity of e-ticketing system from 2,000 to 7,200 tickets a minute. We have installed auto vending machines at various stations. Now you can book a ticket through mobile applications. And tickets through POS terminal, point of sales terminals, which is reduced waiting time. So this was one of the complaints of the people, the experience, because you begin your journey with a ticketing, so we worked on that. Food quality and choice to customer. There was hardly any choice for the people. We are force-feeding in a way. So we have made sure that now people can order the food of their choice. This was also mentioned in my budget of this year. Within a week of that, we already launched rolled out pan-India e-catering, and sophisticated base kitchens are getting installed. We are also doing quite a few things on improving quality of food. The third element of, as I said, to make sure that the strategy is giving voice to customer. This is very important, and therefore we are, of course, have been getting the voice from the electronic media, but we started a different campaign in which even social media could actually be an instrument for people to reach out to us. So on real-time basis, we offer solution to the people's problem, and we have provided medical aid, milk to babies, helped standard lady because she was harassed by somebody, we got them arrested. If the TT was asking money, he was charge-sheeted on the next station. And this is something which has happened in the railways in the last few days. And also we are trying to take a number of measures to make sure that there is hardly any distance between the people who travel and the railways who provide that service. The next is redesigning and redefine travel comfort. What you can see on this is some of this is already happening. There's the Mahamaya Express, which has some of these features. And therefore, we are retrofitting. We are making sure that all the interiors of the coaches is completely changed. We are getting National Institute of Fashion Technology to design the different aspects of that. We also got National Institute of Design to redesign the coaches, and we have some of these unveiled. The last one is obviously the one which already started working, a high-speed railway which will run between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. But I have launched 4 products in this budget, which one of that will be Tejas, which will be providing a high-ended experience to the customers who travel, which will be really, I would hope, that it will be comparable to one of the air service experience. So we'll definitely wish all of you, I'm talking to the potential customer, I hope. And therefore, this is something which we like to do, and this is what is the part of study. Other one is obviously exploring the advertising potential. We don't want only India Today group to get all the advertisement. We want to make sure that we also get the railways. We should also benefit from it, and therefore the huge advertising potential. And tell you what, look at the numbers. 7 billion footfalls a year, as close to the global population. We have as many eyeballs that are available. So just imagine the eyeballs and the footfalls available, what could be the advertising potential of the railways. And so we want to explore it to push our non-fare revenue. Expanding freight basket. Today, we are dependent on only few commodities. So if Mr. Piyush Goyal is not happy with me, I am doomed because he will not move coal with me. And therefore, we want to make sure that freight basket has to be expanded in a substantial way, and this is what we have started doing this in this year. The station redevelopment is a major project, and this is what we are trying to do with 400 stations on as-is where-is basis, where we don't sell the land, we only monetize the air and land rights of that, and could be the new icons for development of the city. This could be the new way in which people will be able to experience good travel, but also at the same time will get a lot of money because we could earn a lot of money out of this. So this is something which are working, and this is not a concept anymore. General guidelines have been issued. This will be completely transparent process. Just I will tell you in a minute that we'll be putting, every zone will put on the website what is the potential. We'll invite bids. The bids will be evaluated independently by technical team separately, by financial team separately. After having done that, then it will be again put on website subject to challenge by anybody. So people say Swiss challenge. It is not a Swiss challenge, it is a railway challenge, India challenge. So in which we will have a very unique product in which this process will be 100% transparent. At the same time, this process will lead to good ideas coming in. So we don't want to design ourselves the CPWD design, but will be something which could be really a new icon of development. The next part of strategy is cost optimization. As I said, in this year itself, we targeted to save 3,000 crores of electricity. And we know we are the largest consumer of electricity. And as the market forces would see, we should get a least price, but we are paying the highest price. So the largest consumer was paying the highest price. So we changed that and we saved it, 3,000 crores. And therefore now in the next year, we like to save even more on diesel as well as other things. So cost optimization is one of the major strategies for the railways, not just increasing revenue, but also optimizing the cost. We have increased, and this is something which I'm sure we like to see. Next slide, please. We have increased the capital expenditure by more than 100%. 2009 to 2014, the previous 5 years of the previous government, the expenditure was 48,100 crores. In 15-16, our target is 1 lakh crore. We might fall a little short because finance ministry has cut down our capital, but still, it is the highest ever, not only highest ever, but probably double than the previous 5 years. And 16-17, we are going to invest 1,21,000 crore. So for the first time, there is an assured availability of funds for the project to ensure timely completion. Despite gross reduction in gross budgetary support, this is also 1,05,000 crores for this. We have built a strong fleet of sanctioned projects to meet our 5-year investment target. That is 5,40,000 crores are sanctioned and available with us. The pace of physical infrastructure has picked up dramatically. This is something which you must try to know that 2009 to 14, the new broad gauge commissioning was 1,520 kilometers. It has gone to 2,500 kilometers in 15-16. In 16-17, it has gone to 2,800 kilometers. And therefore, there is a substantial increase in the kilometers. In fact, if you can see, it has already become 7 kilometers a day from 4.3 kilometers. It will become 13 kilometers a day in the next year and 19 kilometers in 18-19. One of the biggest, you want me to put it back on track, so due time. One of the biggest infrastructure
Indian Railways must run on time.
Dedicated freight corridor is picking momentum. This is the biggest infrastructure project in the country, 85,000 crores. And we have issued tenders for 24,000 crores in this year, as against 13,000 crores ever given in the last 7-8 years. So all the contracts, all the tenders will be issued in the next few days. Structural reforms. We are already creating a rail development authority to decide fare and freight. All the powers have been delegated. I have not even seen a single tender in the last 1.5 years. Increased transparency, one of the key development parameters. New models for partnership with state governments. Railway planning and investment organization. We are changing the organization structure of the railway board. Mission mode implementation. New R&D organization, Suresh. And we are also trying to create a holding company so that all our underlying companies would be monetized in a proper manner. There is this new organization that I am talking about, planning and investment organization, would stimulate new investment. We will be responsible for drafting medium-term and also identify projects, independently conduct market intelligence to assess demand and operational feasibility, and propose right financing mechanism for the project. We are also redefined the organized structure, would enable cross-functional collaboration and facilitate new business developments. That's part of a organizational restructuring. I'm just running through. Current economic and operational scenario, new project delivery mechanism has been worked out. In fact, you'll be happy to see that earlier, there used to be 2 years from announcement of project to issue of tender. We have brought it to less than 6 months in a matter of a year. And therefore, we are creating a structure which will now like a capacity building. So in future, we'll be able to develop and deliver even faster. So current economic, So project delivery, I just mentioned, we have created 7 missions, and each of these, which are announced only 10 days back in the budget, are already, we have created a structure to implement a mission 25 tons, mission zero accident, mission pace to reduce the ordinary working expenses, mission Raftar to increase the speed, and also mission Century to commission 100 sidings in next 2 years. We are also working on beyond bookkeeping. I don't want to go into that, but this is like integrating management information system, integrating management accounting system, costing, bookkeeping rolled into one, so that we'll be able to track the outcome of an expenditure in a very effective manner. And of course, mission capacity utilization. So I hope all of this will help us over a period of time to put railway back on track. It's something, and my good friend from the Congress party said that day in the parliament that railway is sick. I said, you're absolutely right. I don't want to go into the reason why it has become sick. And this is something now we are trying to cure, but it needs 2 elements. One is a medication, which will cure it, but also a regime. If you don't follow the regime, I'm going to say I'm going to drink as much as I want, but at the same time I should not have any liver problem, it may not work. So therefore, we must make sure that we follow a regime. So therefore, we are working on a regime and a medication at the same time. I hope in the next few years we'll see railway back on track. We'll be able to get all of you on board very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.